Yeah.
What's up?
So,
How's it going?
just how would you assess how the season went for you, but just between the injuries and everything that happened with the team?
Yeah, I felt like it was a good season for me. Learning experience, being in a new environment and and seeing things in different ways. But I think it was good in that sense. Obviously not pleased with with some of the injuries and missing some of the games and obviously everything that happened with our group. As a team, we didn't accomplish or achieve what we wanted to. So that wasn't that wasn't it. But individually, I felt like it was good for me. It was still at year 19. I feel like I'm still growing and developing. So that was positive, and I felt like it was a positive step for me, basketball wise.
You didn't need to come here. You were an accomplished NBA player way before you even got here. What brought you here, and why? I mean, I assume you probably want to keep going, but where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I felt like it was a nice opportunity and a challenge, to be here and to play with some of these these great players and this great franchise. That's the reality of being here. And for me, these next few about this week and a half, I'll be speaking with Amelia and just thinking about everything and seeing kind of what we're gonna do, with our future. So that's kind of where
So
we're
you're
at.
not decided yet what you want to do?
Not yet, no.
Yeah. How much do you like it here?
We really like it here. Yeah, we like it.
Steve's future is obviously uncertain right now. Just what has your experience been with him this season? Just having him as your coach, and what have you kind of gotten from that?
It's been a very positive experience for me. Steve, just such a legendary coach already in its own, and just getting to see how he operates, how he thinks. It's been great for me to be able to learn and see those things. So it's been for me, it's just really a big learning experience, just trying to take different things in and just see how I can be better and see how he does things and how he's thinking the game and things like that. So it's been a very positive experience.
When it comes to your future, what are some of the factors that you and your family might consider in terms of how you want the rest of your career to unfold?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for me, it has to do with not rush into anything or not let emotions or heat of the moment determine anything. So I just think it's this. I've done this the last few years, and it's just kind of taking time to step back and have a clearer picture. Look at the outlook of the team, looking at the future of the team, how things look, and also seeing kind of where I'm at and how I'm feeling. And fortunately for me, I'm healthy. I feel good. I still feel like I can contribute and play at a very high level still. So those are all things that that I'm gonna look at. And now that everything kind of gets quiet, it's something that I'll reflect on all that.
Al, to follow up on exactly that, obviously you have a decision with the option, whatever you're going to do next couple weeks. Is retirement off the table? I mean, are you confident that you'll play somewhere next year?
Um, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Yeah, it's definitely that's been on my mind. But I just I enjoy you know playing and being in this position and definitely taking all that stuff into consideration.
Both Quentin and Charles talked about just how you've kind of help them along, the big men. And I remember I asked you a while back, I said, you want to go into coach? And you were like, nah, I don't think so. But, I mean, it seems like you have a lot to offer. And what is it you try to do to the young guys on this team, the young guys? What kind of advice did you offer those guys?
Yeah, for me is really trying to, give them perspective, but also trying to help them, see things and try to help them become better players and trying to understand kind of how the league operates and works and things like that. So and any chance that I can to talk to them or give them advice or tell them different things. That's what I've tried to do, in this season, or making sure that I'm always making myself available if they have questions or if they want to talk about the game or experiences of mine. So always just trying to be mindful to help them. That's just finding a way to kind of pay it forward and be there for them.
And those 4 threes that you banged in L.A., did that tell you anything about yourself that you didn't already know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was rewarding, but it's something that I guess to answer your question, I think yes, I think it told me that I have that ability to to be able to do that, and in that point it was like I work, so hard to put myself in those positions and to be able to be in those moments. So when those moments come or at any point, I feel like I'm capable that I can do that. I put in a lot of work, I put in a lot of time, but I'm confident that those displays I could continue to do those types of displays.
Hi, Al. What's your favorite moment in this season?
My favorite moment in this season, man, I think, there's, I would have to say that a win against the Clippers, going on the road and being in the play-in and, it wasn't quite playoff basketball, but kind of fighting for your playoff lives and giving ourselves an opportunity. I felt like our group was so resilient that game. We've already had so much adversity, and then being down multiple times and not knowing what was going to happen. But for us to find a way to band together as a group and figure it out and win the game, it felt very rewarding in a season that that we were just kind of our backs against the walls all year, and bad news after bad news or different things happening, and finding a way to still care and try to represent the Warriors in the right way. That to me was important. I know that our fans appreciated that, and I think they understand that that we gave everything we had for the fans, and we appreciate the fans in that matter. And I think it showed with the way that we played. Even the Phoenix game, obviously we lost that, but I felt like we were playing hard and we were trying to do our best.
Al, obviously, when you got here, the hope was that there could be title contention.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned, injuries, 100 things happen. If in the thought process of the next few weeks, there's a reality that may not happen here, how much would that impact your decision of whatever you decide to do for next year?
Yeah, I don't know. I think those are all things that are fair questions, and then we'll have to ask and address. But like I said, I like being here. We've gotten acclimated, my family and I, to be here, and those are questions. All that stuff that is going to be going through our minds.
When the Celtics were here, I guess a few months ago at this point, you said that your departure from Boston was about something bigger than basketball. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a question that kind of stayed out there, kind of open-ended. But what I meant by that was that a lot of the times, when people are making decisions, there's also the things that you see and the things that kind of make sense for the human eye and the things like that. But the way that I operate and that I've carried my career, it's been through my faith. And when I went to Boston, that was 10 years ago. So it was 10 years ago. Boston wasn't what it was now. They were in the middle of a team that they just lost to the Hawks, and I was on that Hawks team, and we beat them. And there was other places that I could have gone that would have put me in a better position, but I chose to go to Boston and take that chance. But I took it because of my faith, because that was the place for me that I felt that I needed to be. And then when all of this happened, I felt like it was time for me, or I shouldn't say I knew that it was time for me to move on. Nothing to do with Boston, but again, following my faith, my belief, and I knew that I had to go elsewhere. And when I looked at it, I felt like here was a place for me to be able to do things. And sometimes it's bigger than basketball for me. That's what I meant by that. There are other things that I need to do and accomplish, and that's why that decision was made. It wasn't an easy decision for me to leave Boston, because for me, I was very happy there with my family and everything, but I just felt like I didn't feel like I knew it was the right time, and this was the next challenge and the next step for me, and now I'm here, and it's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens now, but I have to be able to embrace this new challenge that I have.
What are some of those things that you wanted to accomplish, and do you feel like you did this year?
Well, I mean, I think time will tell with some of these things, but I came here to try to contend and try to win a championship, and I don't shy away from that, and I failed helping the team do that, and we failed as a group, but that's still something that there would be if I decide to come back here and decide to continue to play. It's something that it's in my sights and something that we would like to accomplish.